Hello guys, and welcome to a new Star Division 2 video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you game 2 of a best of 3 between Shaun and ZZ in the third place playoff of the Season 2 playoffs of the Steel Division League. Today they are playing on Orsha North, and both players this time around have decided to play on the Allied side. So on our left in the red team we have Shaun playing with the 3rd Canadian Infantry and of course the balanced deployment type. And on our right in the blue team we have ZZ playing with the 184th and the Vanguard deployment type. The division bans for this game were as follows. Shaun banned ZZ from playing the 1st Polish Infantry, the Polish Home Army, the 3rd Guards Tank Corps and the 26th Guards. And ZZ banned Shaun from playing the 26th Guards Rifles, the 3rd Guards Tank Corps, the 1st Polish Infantry, and the 184th Rifles. So ZZ placing a lot of value in the 184th since he banned it against his enemy and it picked it himself. And that isn't misplaced. The 184th has very strong infantry with Stroki DP, does have the infantry support to back that up in the form of the infantry guns and the AT guns, and then also has some nice light armor for some fast pushes. But the 3rd Canadian has better armored support and weaker infantry. So it's kind of like, that's the balance that we're going to see here. 3rd Canadian, of course, having M4s and Staghounds to back up rifles. And that's kind of, I think, where Shaun's going to go with this. But let's have a quick look at the deployment here. This is where they are sending their troops. But let's jump into the bottom side for ZZ. So Ogdemachiki, that's 2 units of Flamer squads, make that 3. 45mm, 2 infantry guns. Behind that, it's going to be a lot of infantry down here. We've got the Stroki DP in there, some normal Stroki squads and Avtos. Towards the center, going to be 2 infantry guns and an AT gun, backed up by a Stroki DP and Avto. 3 Ogdemachiki and the infantry gun heading up onto the hill. Avto also heading into the center of the map. 2 Tanko Desaniki, Stroki, Gomloti, Avtos on the top side with a commander. For Shaun in the middle here we see the 2 Vickers HMGs. Going to be putting some value into the Vickers HMGs actually. Not a massive fan of them. Sniper Scouts also unloading their rifle leader, coming in hot. Rifles going to be backed up with those white trucks. Sorry. 3-star Veterancy rifles are really strong, but the rifle leader's in a really bad position. Shaun might lose that Veterancy very quickly indeed, and that would not be good at all for his infantry push here in the center. On the bottom side, multiple units of rifles backed up by the rifle leader. Again, going for those 3-star rifles in order to get value out of them. Can be really strong at the mid-range, but did end up losing that leader in the center. Big mistake there from Shaun. These 2 rifles are going to get pinned down by the same infantry gun. Oh, IL-2 M3 coming in with a rocket strike. Doesn't really hit multiple units, just pins down the Vickers HMG. Going to see on the top side, Vickers HMG in the tower. Going to be hitting this infantry gun at a distance, since that is firing at the Staghound instead. Rifles there happy. On the top side, these rifles definitely going to get overwhelmed by Tanko Dasaniki and Avtos, especially with the 3-star Veterancy provided by Stroki Komroti should ZZ move up with that explosive start to this game. We do see one of the infantry guns go down in the center. The rifles still engaging the Stroki DP and Avtos. Oh, nice snipe there onto that Jeep. I'm not sure what was in it. Might have been another leader. Goes down. Nice snipe indeed from ZZ. But ZZ did lose his Avtos trying to run them across the open. Now we're going to see the IL-2 M3 come in with the napalm strike straight on top of those rifles. Rifles don't actually end up getting killed by that, but certainly pinned down. Now the infantry gun's going to try and take out the snipers. Big open range engagement here from Shaun is going to not end too well, I believe, because if he tries to push into this town, the Avto is just going to clean him up. Valky DP here with the IG to back it up has done so well against the rifles at range. We are going to see a Stuart 5 being brought in. Not often you see these used on the Canadians. Generally you see the Sherman 5 DD here, like on the top side, and also the Staghounds are generally your fast sort of close range support. And Shaun's going to move that to the top so that he can clean up those M2A1 50 cal half tracks. On the bottom though, one Avto is surrounded by 6 units of rifles, and maybe just the numbers of infantry that Shaun has here is really what's going to keep him in this game. But nice use of his commander so far, at least on his bottom side, he did have the right intention in the center, but let his leaders get killed. These infantry gun placements from ZZ have been vital to stop this push from Shaun. So nice job there. But yeah, the Avto's not doing much damage at all. Rifles coming out on top, cleaning up this bottom side. Does create a big salient. Not too many flags to capture here though for Shaun. The only flag that he's going to be contesting really is this one. He can try and go for this one, but there's plenty of time for ZZ to bring reinforcements to help that out. So currently 12 to 12, still all to play for. But ZZ really does have to make the moves in the early game. He is playing the Vanguard division once again. So if he doesn't manage to get a leg up against Shaun, Shaun will be able to finish him off in the late game. IL-2M3 coming in with the rocket strike. ZZ focusing again on a lot of planes. In the first game we saw him use a lot of the Ju-87s. This time around the IL-2M3 is coming into play. Shaun mainly still focused on the ground using the Stuarts, the Shermans. Shermans can be really useful at range, especially against things like these infantry guns. The infantry gun just sniping a Vickers HMG there from a distance. Looks like Shaun's just going to try and get them onto the road. That's going to break the line of sight. Job done for now. Avtos moving in with the half tracks. He's bringing them in the half tracks because it allows them to get closer without getting unloaded by machine gun fire. So those are going to be going for the points in the town, I assume. I thought he was going to unload them and try and clean out these rifles on the top side that he knew was there, but apparently not. Going to be bringing in the BA-10M to support against these rifles, but no infantry really left to stand in their way apart from the sniper, which will go down eventually, especially with the Staghound engaging there. The Staghound also has a good chance to clean up the BA-10M, but then again the BA-10M could get lucky and kill the Staghound. Two M3S Gomrotti coming in on the bottom side, double Strelky DP unloading as well. Rifles do have the advantage at close range, I believe, especially in numbers. In this case though, the Strelky going to have enough SVTs probably to break down the rifles over time. But the fact that the Strelky DP don't have any form of like submachine gun can make them pretty weak at close range engagements. But these two infantry guns, damn, they're just free firing onto these rifles right now. If these rifles get to the edge of the tree lines though, these infantry guns could die very quickly. This infantry gun firing at the Stuarts and the Sherman. The Sherman should be able to pin that down in time. We are going to see more rifles come in on the top side. So just like ZZ was doing with the Avtos, Shaun bringing in the rifles in the white trucks, not only because they are fast, but also because they provide the armor and allow them to get close without being fired at. In this case, doesn't really want to be too close to an Avto. An Avto sitting in the edge building of this town before it gets spotted could do a lot of damage to rifles running across the open. So, the two infantry guns were cleaned up by the rifles on the bottom side. M3S is now pushing through with the Strelky DP. Strelky DP did get the better of the one rifle squad that was remaining on that bottom side. So still 12 to 12. But of course, it's Vanguard versus balance, and we've got to realise that ZZ is not getting much ground here in the early game, especially compared to the last game. These Avtos, building to building combat, they're not going to be as effective as if they could catch out some of the rifles in the open. They are going to get pinned down. They are going to be surrendered. These Avtos were spotted. Shaun's going to know where to take a wide berth. IL-2M3 though, coming in with a rocket strike, does lose its target. Not going to fire the rockets this time around. German 5 is coming in on the bottom side, going to provide a lot of issues for the M3S. I think ZZ is going to be mainly reliant on this AT gun. If the AT gun fails to kill in a couple shots though, the Sherman 5 will pin it down and kill it off. So that's kind of the gamble that ZZ has, especially if he doesn't plan to use his M3Ss in this engagement. But it looks like he's used a Strelky DP to reveal the rifles in the building, then going to move up the M3Ss to support that from a distance. Meanwhile on this hill, we do see the ISU-122 arriving. IL-2M3 comes in with the napalm strike onto the top side, or this IL-2 rocket, or the napalm went for the Sherman 5. I guess it can kill them, but seems unlikely considering that the amount of infantry availability that Shaun has in the early game here with the Canadians is kind of ridiculous. So I would have expected that ZZ would try and clean those up. Anyway, the Sherman 5 here, taking those couple shots. Loader knockout crit is nice, but as I mentioned, it's just not going to be enough unless he can get the kill there. Oh, that's going to be an ISU 122 down the road though. Sherman 5's got to bail from that engagement. Does not want to be one popped by that ISU 122 once it gets on target. Damn. Starkey DP going to be able to finish off the rifles in the building there. Really, really good mid-range squads. We've got the infantry gun in the center still engaging. Avto is actually engaging rifles. They're not even in cover properly here. Still doing relatively well. Probably just because the rifles are very stressed. The Starkey DP, however, not going to do so well because they are stressed themselves. Rifles engaging from a distance with the Brens. IG might be able to save that engagement a little bit, but nice job by ZZ to secure that flag in the center. Not much that two-man rifle squad can do to take that back. Starkey DP, again, going to be starting to cut down the rifles. Like, even when the rifles are 3-star veterancy, Starkey DP with 1-star veterancy still fighting so damn well. The double machine gun, 9 SVTs, like perfect mid-range squads. Again, Starkey DP here. Going to do a decent amount of damage to rifles at range. I think at the MG range, rifles can trade okay, but like at the mid-range, if the SVTs are firing, definitely not. Tanko Desaniki are going to get on top of the rifles here, but the Sherman 5, oh, it's going to save the day. Rifles stay alive. Flag stays in the side of Shaun. ZZ throwing all he's got now at the end of Phase A towards Shaun. He's brought in 5 M5L Stuarts. He's bringing up multiple units of Strauki. Really just trying to force the matter. But this bottom side is not looking good for ZZ right now. Kind of just holding on with very limited forces. No infantry to support his tanks at the moment. And this town also in a very, very bad position. Surrounded by units. Fire coming in from all sides from rifles. The Sherman 5 just has to move a little bit and he can get line of sight there to help out. ISU 122 is in a nice position to kind of cut off reinforcements coming into this town, which might give ZZ enough time to maybe capture these flags. But he's really got to be a bit more decisive than this, because at the moment things not looking too great. Maybe could send one of these Stuarts, yeah, down to this flag just to secure that. Nothing rifles can do about armor. That's one thing you can very much exploit both with the 3rd Canadian and the 15th Infantry, is they don't have much infantry that has AT. So with these rifles, there's nothing they can do about an M3S. Nothing. So you can sit right on top of them, get maximum accuracy, and yeah, you can just kill them all day long. The only thing that the Canadians and 15th have are Piats. You don't generally see people invest into the Piat squads in the AT tab because they are unreliable. And you don't see them invest into... Well, that's what I was going to say, is you do see them invest into scouts, which are the recon variant, but generally people don't bring recon infantry too much in 1v1s. IL-2 M3 misses its mark there completely. IL-2 M3 doesn't really do much damage to this Sherman with the rockets. Mortar strikes now coming in onto the Avtos, and this is one way you can deal with close range infantry. If you have infantry that's worse at close range, use artillery, use mortars. Mortars more specifically because they are faster firing and they aim quicker. So you can pin down an infantry squad like this quickly and then just throw like a infantry squad towards it to surrender rather than actually having to fight that battle. Way more efficient. Meanwhile here, Shaun has managed to capture this flag, managed to get these 2 rifles across the open here, and sitting in here is going to really, really slow down ZZ's game plan, because 12 minutes and 20... well, 12 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, ZZ with a Vanguard should be more ahead than he is. But again, I think it comes down to the 3rd Canadian being able to put down a lot of infantry availability with very affordable rifles. They're only 20 points apiece, and they're 10-man squads that can put up a good fight at mid-range, and, well, that's it. Minor victory for Shaun after 12 minutes 48 seconds. I think ZZ just realized he wasn't really getting anywhere and gave up the game. And that's going to be it. Shaun takes 3rd place in the Season 2 playoffs of the Steel Division League. Nice job by him. I think throughout the league, he did a really, really good job, I heard. Came out, I think, top of his group. So, really, really nice performance by Shaun, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him in Season 3. And speaking of Season 3, if you are interested in getting involved, I'll make sure to leave links to Season 3 in the description. Make sure to join the SD League Discord if you want more information, and they can get you set up in there. I think the slots left for Season 3 are very, very limited, so make sure to check before you sign up. I think the slots are nearly gone, so there you go. Anyway, 930 kills to 700 losses. Nice positive KD there for Shaun. Not by much, honestly, but it just shows that ZZ wasn't really making much ground in the early game. If at this point, at the 13-minute mark in the previous game, we'd looked at the kill board, ZZ would have been way ahead. And it's just a shame that he couldn't take advantage of that in the early game to maybe force us to a third game should he lose the second one. But stuff happens, so you can't really do much about that. These rifles just getting nice value, especially when they're killing Avto squads like that. Sherman 5, really, really difficult, excuse me, for the 184th to deal with. Only has the ISU 122s, and they're really clunky, very slow. The Sherman 5 can just run circles around them all day long. And yeah, it's just mostly rifles getting value there, as well as the Shermans to back them up. As I kind of said, like, the Canadians have weaker infantry with stronger armor support, and the 184th infantry has stronger infantry with weaker armor support. And that is basically what happened. Infantry guns coming in very handy from ZZ though. The support weapons on the side of the 184th are really nice, and I think ZZ made great use of those. The IL-2s just felt very, very lackluster in this game. Those napalm strikes could have been way more effective. Those napalm bombers can be insane, especially when they hit clumped units of infantry. And at the start, Shaun was clumping hard. So there was opportunity there, I think, to use these IL-2s maybe sooner, or maybe hit more units of infantry at the same time, which would have helped break down the infantry availability that Third had, and then allow ZZ to utilize his Vanguard. But either way, that's how the cookie crumbles. That's how we're going to leave it. That's going to be third place for Shaun in the finals of the Steel Division 2 League, so nice job to him. Now we're going to be moving on to the final to see Gonzo versus Nilla. Going to be some crazy games, both very, very aggressive playstyles, so it's going to be explosive, that's for sure. Hopefully I will see you there. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.